What it do? What it do? What's up, Zach? How's it going, man? What's up, Bryson? What's up, Nora? Appreciate that, Zach. Yeah, I got a story to tell once we get more people in here. I don't want to have. I mean, I'm probably gonna have to tell it more than once, but I'll wait. About a Apex payout that I requested. What's up, top man? What's up, Omni? Doing great, man. I mean, I'm not feeling. For some reason, I'm not. I woke up not feeling great. Uh, just like typical sinus stuff, whatnot, man. Just fighting something off. Slept in a little bit trying to get rid of it, but other than that, I'm feeling great, man. Can't complain. Don't take the Tylenol. I do my best to steer clear of any pharmaceuticals, man. Which one are you talking about, Paul? Appreciate that, Nick. Appreciate that, man. The most recent one, we've taken a couple recently, because my I had five. I have right now. I have 11 funded Apex accounts. I activated another one last night, but call it 10. Five of them are on one schedule. Five of them are on another schedule. I requested on the 17th. So what day was that? Monday. I requested 10,000 from the five, 2,000 apiece, and only one of them got approved. And I'll tell you why. It is 100% my fault. It's not on Apex. But my most recent payout that has hit my account would be TPT. I hit my account this morning. That was 1,000 on five accounts. Yeah, Kyle. I took I started on Top Step back in the day, almost a year ago actually. Was when I started using prop firms. What's up, Wild Pines? What's up, man? How's it going? What's the matter, bud? Appreciate you being so concerned, Nora. Got your first 50K combine. Very nice, man. Do I think TPT will have some Black Friday deals? Man, they have some deals going on right now that I don't know how they're going to get any better than. I mean, they've been running the same deal for a while. 40% off with no activation fee. Would you say prop firms are the reason for your major success? They make it a lot easier, man. Yeah. What's up, Fitty? We got a ton of liquidity stacked up above us here. I saw a bunch of this move happening when that news came out, and I'm not even gonna say I was tempted. I wasn't tempted, but it was interesting to watch because I would have made a bunch of money if I'd broken my rules and taken a trade. But stuck to my rules, stayed disciplined. Only one winning day away from a payout. Man, you got that, Will. Stay disciplined, man. Don't change anything you've been doing. Take the money out of your mind and just focus on good setups and doing the same thing. Be robotic. Just be robotic. What are your rules? Well, one of them is don't trade before market open. And that's not like a rule I recommend to other people. It's just that for me personally, I've had less success taking pre-market trades than I have taking them after the market's open. What news came out? Unemployment claims, or was it unemployment claims or employment? Unemployment claims, unemployment rate, non-farm employment change, hourly earnings. What pair is this? It's not a pair. It's just NASDAQ and S&P futures. Specifically, this is S&P futures right here. Home sale is going to have an impact? It usually doesn't. It usually doesn't. I mean, it might give a little bit of a little fluctuation, but it doesn't usually. What's up, Carlo? How's it going, man? What app do you use? The chart right here is called TradingView. What's up, Alice? How's it going, man? Mars, what up? Is it Merci or is it Mars? I feel like I've been saying Mars, and I don't know if that's right. We trading today? If we get a setup, absolutely, yeah. What strategy do I think to pass my combine? Honestly, man, I'm going to be completely blunt, and this is not being a jerk. If you're asking that question, you're not ready to be trading a combine. You should be on paper. You should be honing in on a strategy on paper, and then taking that strategy that you've discovered that works, and then start trading it when you're trading a prop firm. That's my opinion of the order of operations. But if you already got it, go to YouTube and look up the unicorn model, ICT unicorn model, and if I was you, I would learn that strategy, learn that specific setup, and only trade that. If you don't see it, don't trade. You're gonna have days that you don't see it. Don't trade. Only trade that. High success rate with that strategy. Very low. It doesn't appear very often, but when it does appear and you take that trade, very high success rate. And make sure you know exactly what it is. Don't deviate. Like, oh well, it met 3 of the 4 confluences. It didn't meet the 4th, but I'm still going to take the trade. Don't take the trade. You need the sweep of a major level. You need a V-shaped recovery. You need a bullish or a bearish fair value gap in the direction that you're targeting. You need that gap to be inside of the breaker. You need a retest of that and a respecting of that gap, or the respecting of the breaker, and a clear draw on liquidity. If you don't have that, don't take the trade. And start with micros. Yeah, very good advice. Yeah, start with micros, not minis. 1 micro. What's up, Matt? How's it going, man? Call me Tiff. What up? I will call you Tiff. Is that what I trade? Yeah, I love that setup. I'll take other trades now that I've been doing this long enough, but there's very few other variations that I'll take. That setup is money. You'll make a lot of money if you trade that setup. What's up, Haley? How's the knee doing? What's up, Robbie? How's it going, man? Doing some shopping, trying to get home at least on open. Trying to get home. I got you. Yeah, I mean, don't stress if you're not there right at open, man. You know how it is. Wait for a setup, and we'll take what the market gives us. We do have a higher time frame PD array above us here on NQ and ES. We got the daily gap above us. We're delivering out of this 4-hour here. So it'll be interesting to see if we come up, sweep London, and potentially come down and take out some sell side low resistance liquidity, or continue to push right through it. If you're wondering what this move up was yesterday, I'm pretty sure this was all, or most of it was due to the NVIDIA earnings beating expectations, and just really drove the market up. Ducati, I look for a clear draw on liquidity. If I'm looking for a continuation, I'm looking for a clear draw on liquidity, and this would be a decent continuation model here, right? I mean, You had this consolidation here, a little dip into this 4-hour gap, and then a continuation. Obviously, I wasn't trading at 4:45 in the morning. Need a payout. Girlfriend wants a shopping trip this weekend. She's taking you shopping, right? She's paying. It's 2025, man. We're switching it up. They're taking us shopping. What's the name of the indicator? Which one are you talking about? Do I think we're bullish? I think we have a lot of bullish momentum going on. Man, I'm looking so pale, dude. I'm like translucent right now. In T2, is that MetaTrader 2? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I'm glowing. You need to hit the tanning bed, man. The only tan I got is from this computer screen. I've looked into that stuff, man. I heard it makes you nauseous and like takes away your appetite. I glow. I appreciate that. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't shy away from the self tanner, man. I used to do that a good bit when I was bigger. Some people hate on it. I don't mind it. Only reason I don't do it now is I got tired of having to replace my sheets every couple of weeks. C-bum, not even close, man, but I appreciate it. What's up, AP? How's it going, man? Yeah, Paul, that's what I was just talking about. We got that daily above us here. I got it marked out right there on NQ and ES. So it'd be interesting to see if we dig into this and then potentially reject out of it. Maybe even if we're bullish on the day, this is the awesome thing about trading. What's up, Jack? How you doing, man? What's the bias looking like? I'm about to talk about what I'm thinking. And again, like I said yesterday, the Mike Tyson quote: "Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth." This would be what I'm thinking would be an interesting setup. We push into this daily gap above us, and then we come down and take out whatever low resistance sell side liquidity we generate on the way up. We already generated a little bit here down to London low. What would be interesting, and this is the beauty of trading, we don't need to predict what's going to happen throughout the entire day. We just need to know what's going to happen in the time we're going to take the trade, the next 15 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is. So if we can come up here, even if we're fully bullish on the day, we can come up here, hit this London high, and get a rejection out of that daily gap to take out, catch 20 points, 30 points on ES. We don't even really need that much. Yesterday I took 6 points and made all that money yesterday with 6 points off of 2 minis. Obviously, it's multiplied by 15 funded accounts, but we don't need to take a whole lot. We don't need to be looking for these grand slam 150 point moves. At least I don't. You do whatever you want, but that's what I would be eyeballing here. Yeah, I don't know. Only done the BPC 157. I've heard that BPC 157 is good stuff, man, for injuries. Christian, hope you're doing well. Yeah, Trey, I got you, man. Appreciate it. I hope you're doing well too. I'll throw it on here. I appreciate you being so polite with that. Some people just say, put on the book map. This is ES. I'm new to this. I'm willing and wanting to learn. You're in the right spot. I think you're doing the right thing, trying to learn. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a guru or anything, but I think being in the stream will help you understand what's going on, what to look for. Also, don't sleep on the free YouTube videos and stuff. A lot of good free YouTube channels to learn from. These orders at 67.60 just came in here pretty recently. I think you see right here was when they came in. So I think we might sweep up some of that. That's the sell side I'm talking about, and then potentially go higher. That would be in line with this on the chart. If you're looking, it's in line with a 15-minute gap, I think, down there. Yeah, down at 67.54. So if it came down to the 67.55, 67.54 level, and then keep going back up, that would be tapping right into I'll show you on the actual chart. We'll be tapping into this 15 and then going higher. So we'll see if that happens. We'll see what the deal is. That's not a trade I would take, but it I could see why somebody would take it if they told me they did. Christian, how do you get those numbers on your book map? You talking about on the right side, the black and white? Those are just the levels. That should be the default. Or are you talking about at the bottom? Oh. That's an indicator. That's a you're talking about on the actual chart with the orders. That's a liquidity marker. That's a here. I really do need to get on making a video for you guys on this. It doesn't show. So if you at the top when you hit settings, you go to configure add-ons. I have liquidity marker on, which shows I have it. You can set the threshold, but any order 50 orders or larger will show up on the map like that. It'll mark it out. It's called liquidity marker, and it's free if you have the Global Plus. You just go to manage add-ons. Well, you go to settings, configure add-ons, and then you hit manage add-ons, and then you scroll until you find it, and it's in there. It's called liquidity marker. Bookmap is literally a cheat code. Yeah, it is. They're both max. They're both like so I'll show you this order specifically up here at 67.80. If you look at the right side of the chart, you see how it's 160 is lit up in red right there on the right side. That means 160 of those 163 orders are sell orders. This 69 that's here on the chart, hang on a sec. This 69 that's here on the chart, you can go to the right. You see 157 is lit up in red. That means 157 of those orders are sell orders. The rest are buy orders. So it is both. It's buys and sells, but you can differentiate the two based on the right side of the chart on the setting that I have on. What is that sonar ping? That's exactly what it looks like, isn't it? Like a depth finder, like a fish finder. If you've ever seen one of those for like deep sea fishing, you want to zoom in. I can zoom in, but it like changes the look a little bit. Oh, you can't see the right side? Wonder if I can. How's that? Does that show it too? So yeah, you got these numbers on the right that show all those different orders. So you got 166 up here. See that 166? And then you look at the right side, 166 is lit up here in red. So that's 166 sell orders right there. Pretty cool. What up, D? How's it going, man? Yeah, no doubt, Nick. I got you. All right, since we got a bunch of people in here, I'll tell my payout denial that I just got. And it's my fault. So what's up, Jeff? How's it going, man? So I did get denied a payout last night by Apex for on four of my accounts. And it was because on the 7th, I took a trade and it went below. So the trade, even though I finished in profit, the trade had gone down into the negative to negative $900. And that exceeded 30% of my total allowed drawdown. And because it just went over that threshold, even though it came back and was in profit, that's a rule violation. And they denied my payout on 4 of my accounts because of that. Now, I wasn't fully aware of that rule. I always preach about being aware of the rules, and they don't deny you if you don't break the rules. Well, I broke the rule. So no big deal. All I have to do is wait for the next payout cycle, which is actually you have to wait 10 days and not 8. But I have so much buffer in those 2 accounts now, man. That account balance on those 4 accounts is $57,234 on a 50K account. So my max allowed drawdown on those accounts now is $7,134. Not worried about hitting that rule again, but how am I going to go about making sure that that doesn't happen again? Well, I went into TradeAvate, and before each session, this is a lot of work for most people, but I don't mind doing it because I get the chance to scale 20 funded accounts. What I'm going to do before every session now is I'm going to go look at what my available drawdown is for each account that I have. I'm going to make sure that 30% of that, or excuse me, 29% of that is calculated. And I'm going to go to the settings, the risk settings on TradeAvate, and I'm going to make sure that I have it as soon as a trade reaches that threshold, it closes the trade. That way I don't violate the rule. And that's, a lot of people are like, man, that's probably a lot of, it is an insane rule. Yeah, I get it. But it is their rule, and they allow you to have 20 funded accounts. So I'm willing to jump through whatever hoops. I mean, you're talking about milking these people for at least $80,000 a month. You know, I'm fine with jumping through a few hoops to be able to continuously do that. So just for anyone trading Apex, just be aware there's a 30%, what do they call it, MAW or MAE rule, which means that whatever your available net drawdown is, you cannot be in a trade that goes more than 30% of that total. Kyle, it's 30%. So if you're whatever your net total drawdown is, you can turn on the distance to drawdown liquidity on TradeAvate. You can see that on the right side of your. You can add that setting so you can see how much drawdown you have available. Whatever that number says, calculate 30% of that, and you cannot be in a trade that goes over more than that number. So just for people wondering, that's a rule that you need to be made aware of. Done with this week, up $100, up 100 euros, had some wrong bias, but we move. Hey, you're in green, man. Good job, Dean. Either direction. Well, that's the rule. So there's a 30%. I had gotten denied, not denied, but unable to take a payout in these same accounts because one day I had made more than 30% of my total profits, which is the windfall rule that they have. I know they have a lot of rules. I get it. That's why a lot of people don't like trading with them. But I'm telling you, dude, I've taken so much money from them already that I'm not even worried about it, because it's like I just want to figure out how to operate the way that they want me to operate, and I'll continuously keep milking them dry. You were over risking? Dude, I had $53,200 and something in the account. My net daily loss limit is $1,000. That's what I had for myself. I'm willing to lose $1,000. And also, the reason that those accounts got violated wasn't because I really wasn't paying attention to those accounts. I was paying attention to my 5 others that had way higher account balance. Like my TPT accounts. My TPT accounts I keep a $3,000 buffer in those accounts. So, I was not over risking according to my rules. Maybe to some people, but not to me. I haven't blown an account, dude, since September 20th or something like that. So my risk rules work well. Do you teach how to do this? Yeah, I'm doing it right now. Morning, man. No quarter zip again. Bro's on a roll. Dude, I did not feel great when I was getting ready this morning. I was like, I don't feel like getting dressed. I'm just going to throw a workout shirt on. Yeah, Max, I'm on YouTube. ChristianTrades Live. Isaiah says, how many accounts do you have total, and do you trade them all live? Currently, I have 11 funded Apex accounts, 5 funded TPT accounts, and 9 Apex evals that are very close to passing. What's up, MM? How's it going, man? Yeah, Ducati, I can do that. I have something like that in there, but I can definitely do that. Young LA takes are the best. They're comfortable. Yeah. Copy trade them all across the board. What was the trade I took yesterday? I think it was this right here. And then I took profit at this swing high. What's New York? New York AM high. It's the highest we got into this session over here. It's the high point of that session. Yeah, it does, Mark. Yeah, it does. Discount the activation fee right now for Apex with that code is $40. So you get 80% off, which brings the 50K account to about 39 bucks. And then the activation fee with that code is only 40 bucks. Yeah. Yeah, they're running a crazy deal right now, man. That's why I put that story up yesterday. I just wanted people to know, man, they're running a crazy deal. That's the best deal I've seen Apex run. This dude about to hit 100K a month. I am. If I'm fortunate enough to stay disciplined, man, I'm just trying to stay disciplined, one trade at a time. This is the first time. So usually they're doing like 80 or 90% off, Dean, but the activation fee, even with that 80, 90%, is usually still 140 bucks. So it's not a tremendous deal. If you look at it that way, you're still paying like 160 all in for the account. Right now, you're only paying 80 all in for a 50K. No, there's not red folder at 9. There's yellow or orange folder at 9 or 10 Eastern time. You like that story? I was wondering if I was going to piss some people off with that audio. What's the code? CWT. Yeah, Tiff, it's orange folder. You're talking about the existing home sales? Yeah, it's orange folder. Typically, the existing home sales don't have a whole lot of impact on the price. Appreciate that, Zach. How much a month for Bookmap? About 100 all in. When would you recommend investing in multiple accounts? I think once you've taken some, I think you should take a payout, invest part of it into opening another account. So you build that way, take your payouts and build. But if you're not taking payouts, there's no reason to have multiple accounts. So have one account. Once you get a payout, take some money from that, buy at least one more account, and keep rolling it like that. I mean, don't blow it all on the on putting it back in unless you really want to. But how long did it take you to be profitable? I still don't consider myself profitable, man. I've only been taking payouts for about 5 months, consistently. I'm talking about like almost on a daily basis. I think you need to be doing that for about 9 to 12 months before you can say, yeah, I'm profitable. That's just my standard. I know that other people have different standards, but it took me, I started actually screwing around with trading about 4 years ago. And I lost a lot of money before I started making any money. Mostly because I was trading my personal capital. I didn't know any better. You're profitable after your first payout. That's incorrect. Let's say you've dumped $20,000 into prop firms, or we can be a more reasonable number, $5,000. And you take your first payout on Apex with one account. You only took out $2,000. You still are net negative $3,000. That's not profitable. No, because you've made money. If you buy a business for $100,000 and that business only generates $5,000, do you think it's a profitable business? Now, you don't understand what the definition of profitable is, Candle. You got to look that up, man. Profitable means you're making more than you spent. Doesn't just mean that there's money coming in. It means that there's more money coming in than going out. That's a profit. Let's say in day trading you lose $1,000 today and you make 200 of it back tomorrow. Are you in the green or are you in the red? Am I trading before news or after? I'm not really worried about the 10 o'clock news, to be completely honest. I'm going to trade when there's a setup now at this point. We had the major news that happened at 8:30, which was hourly earnings and non-farm and all that. Can I start with $100 and be profitable? Yeah. You can get an Apex account. I mean, my funded futures would probably be the way to go. I think if you're, they got, what are they? They waived the activation fee. I think all in, it's less than $100 right now. Can't remember, but this is the 15-minute time frame. $77. Yeah, that's a good deal. I just had my Apex account closed due to a Tradeovate problem. That's not good, man. No, I have it on the 15 right now because what I'm looking for is a tap into this daily gap, and I have it hidden on the other time frames. DJ, I have a similar story, man. Silk Road Trade, I don't know if you've ever heard of that website. They used to require you to use Bitcoin as for transactions, and it used to be like $1 a Bitcoin or something like that, 30 cents sometimes, 50 cents, it fluctuated. But we would buy stuff all the time on Silk Road Trade with Bitcoin. We had a ton of them. Sebastian says, bro, you small. I know, man. One day I'll get there, though. But looking back on that, it's like, dude, we spent so much money. Can I show the NQ book map? Yeah, I got you. It's definitely not as clean looking. Still didn't answer the question. Which question did you ask? What is the best indicator to use? Indicators don't make you profitable, man. I use indicators just to mark stuff out. Like I use kill zone and pivots to mark out the session highs and lows. I use the fair value gap indicator just to, because I'm lazy sometimes, and I turn it on just to have it instead of marking them out manually. I mark these out manually because they're the high time frame ones that I'm looking at and that I'm interested in. The Discord has my settings and the indicators that I use though. There's a whole tab with it. People focus way too much on indicators thinking that they're going to make them profitable. That's not necessarily it. Bookmap is the best indicator that I could recommend to anybody. If I could only use one thing, if I had just a bare naked chart and I was only going off of one thing, I would go off of Bookmap. What's my bias? I think we keep pushing up. We got a lot of bullish order flow happening. I mean, we've been pumping since earnings yesterday. NVIDIA earnings drove us higher here. We could rebalance. We could come down to rebalance a little bit. But right now, I have no reason to think that's going to be what happens. NQ's dumping, ES isn't. Yeah, it is a little bit.
That's a money-making son of a bitch right there, boy. You can't. That's a money-making son of a bitch right.
Can we see Bookmap? Yeah, hang on one second. Good morning. First time viewing your station, so very interesting what you see at a profit from 50K. It's great for the first month, but if you don't pass and you blow it, but you're asking what happens, pool man? If you don't pass and you blow it, you have to restart. So if you keep that same account, the subscription renews every 30 days. My recommendation is don't let it renew. Cancel. You can go into the settings and cancel it and open a new one. That's what you do. That's why I don't recommend necessarily, if you're first starting to trade, don't start on prop firm, start on paper. When you get a TradingView account, which is what this is TradingView that you're looking at here, this main screen, tradingview.com. You get a TradingView account, you get a 100K paper account, which is just fake money, and you just practice with that until you're consistently taking wins. I mean, you're gonna have red days here and there. That just happens to everybody. But if you're consistently having success on paper, then that's when I would switch to a prop firm account. And within, I mean, depending on who you are and how your emotional control is, within the first, I would say it shouldn't take you tremendously long to pass your first eval if you've been trading paper and found success on there. But to answer your question specifically, it either renews if you allow it to, which I don't recommend, or you cancel it and open a new account. Use the code again, get the same discount, rinse and repeat. Isaiah, man, long time no see. How's it going, man? James 4:10, got you. Humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up. Amen. Amen. YLS, how's it going, man? I just saw your message. I have not heard of Helicon Trader. I have not. Morning's going good, Isaiah. Morning's going good, man. Can't complain. Shaking off a little bit of a cold here, but I'm going to speak life into myself, and I'm going to be feeling better very shortly, especially once this espresso fully kicks in. Is SoFi a good stock to invest in? I don't know about investing in their stock. I would imagine they're pretty good, but I personally use their services. I think they offer some pretty good high yield savings rates. How do I feel about Pip and Dip? Never heard of it. Reaper. Reaper's back for more. He said he was done yesterday. He said he's done for the week. He opens a fresh account. Let's hear. I want a report, Reaper. How are we looking? Grab some pips and dip. So I like that mentality motion. Just so you're aware, pips is 4x. I mean, I know it's kind of just nitpicky, but in terms of just vernacular, pips is 4x and points are on futures that we trade. But I love that mentality. That's kind of here's my saying. You get in there, shake the money tree, take a couple leaves and get out and move on with your day, man. Pip and dip. I like that too. Would I be interested in longs? I'm not interested in longs in this range right here. I mean, I do think that we are bullish, but I'm not interested. We're kind of in my opinion, in the middle of this range between these two gaps. So I'm not interested in getting involved right here. Even though we just took that New York AM high, I want to see us at least push up into this before I be either eyeballing a continuation or eyeballing a short. The book map is lit up to, I mean, pretty much to my level that I'm talking about, to this 800 level where London high is. He said, nah, we want the whole tree. I full ported all 3 accounts, only passed one. All right, Isaiah. Appreciate it, man. Hope school's going well for you, bro. Who did I learn the most from? I learned the most from YouTube in terms of market structure and analysis. In terms of the most important aspect of trading, which is emotional control and patience, I learned that from a guy named ChristianTrades. He's I'd say one of the best when it comes to patience and discipline. I actually do think I'm going to stick strictly to using unicorn model. I think that's very smart, man. That model is one of the best, if not the best, in my opinion, in terms of ICT models. Those who aren't greedy will be the wealthiest. Shake the tree. Yep. Just shake it and keep moving, man. I did PJ's Discord for about a year. Extremely valuable. Yeah, it is. Ballast, you're wild. What's the unicorn model? Go to YouTube and search it. Unicorn ICT model. You'll see plenty of examples of it, but it's basically a sweep of a major level, V-shaped recovery. It could be up or down. V-shaped recovery, breaker formation, fair value gap inside of the breaker, a test of that breaker or the fair value gap, and a clear draw on liquidity. Do you see a breaker forming? I still have issue identifying. So, Jeff, I don't really concern myself with breakers in the middle of a range like this. Like I was just saying, we're kind of right now in the middle of this 4-hour gap and then this daily gap above us. So if we got a breaker right here, even though we did just sweep this New York AM low, I see what you're looking at. I see what your thinking is here, but I still would not be interested in taking that. I still would not be interested in taking this short, just for personal reasons of not feeling comfortable in the middle of this range. So while you might be eyeballing a breaker and it could be, it could be a proper breaker, I still think you need to sweep higher or lower before we would want to get into a trade. So it's kind of irrelevant. Milan, how's it going, man? This is the indicator for the fair value gaps. And if you see the book map, Jeff. Jeff, look at the book map and you see a 67.60. You got all those orders lit up, and then at 67.77, you have all those orders lit up, and we're in the middle of that kind of. We're kind of pushing down more towards the 67.60, but we want to see a breakout of one of these directions. I want to see us get out of this range preferably higher up to that daily gap. Coinbase stock. I'm not doing stocks, man. We do futures here. Are you trading crypto? No. This is NASDAQ and S&P futures strictly. Do you have orders around Asia low? On ES, we've swept Asia low. Asia low was swept by London. What's up, Ty? How's it going, man? You invest in NVIDIA. I'm diversified. Yeah, NVIDIA did really well yesterday with their earnings. Forgot to text my cousin back last night. I just remembered. Maggie, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I'll text you back. This is ES right here. Sorry about that. This is ES. We got big orders stacked up now down to 67.60 on ES, which is basically at the bottom of this 15-minute, previous 15-minute candle. So could sweep that and then go higher, or it could create momentum and keep going lower down to the VWAP and bounce off. We'll see. Right in that 5-minute. Cracking a cold one on Thursday. Man, if you knew me before, you would not be surprised in the least for it to be 7, 8 a.m. and me cracking open a bush ice. I'm very thankful that that's not the case anymore. Little bush ice and a Red Baron pizza first thing in the mornings. Breakfast of losers, really. I almost said breakfast of champions, but I'm weighing half all day, Isaiah. Weighing half all day. I'd eat pizza for breakfast. Cold pizza, it is pretty good, man. It's just not in my routine anymore. Very thankful. I actually don't eat much in the mornings right now. I just have a coffee. I usually eat, as soon as I get off the stream, I usually chow down though. Even South Park said it. What's the best indicator for session high? Yeah, Joshua, it's called ICT Kill Zone and Pivots. It's right here. And you can screenshot that if you want, or take a picture of it, whatever you need to do for the settings. Protein coffee, yeah. Bud Ice, thank God that's no longer the case. Absolutely balanced. Why would I not go long here? Because we're kind of in the middle of this range, and I want to see us tap into this daily gap first to get an idea of whether we want to reject. My thinking right now, what I'm looking to eyeball is, or what I am eyeballing, is a tap into this gap and a sweep of these highs, and then potentially a retracement to take out the low resistance sell side liquidity that we create on the way up. I don't think that we're going to be dumping all day. I think we'll dump enough to pick up some of this sell side liquidity that we're creating on the way up, and I just want to get in and get out and take that. But we'll see. We might not get anything. I might not take a trade. We'll see. I don't use new day opening gap. I use new week opening gap. Yeah. I don't have the indicator on the screen right now, but yeah, Sunday nights I usually mark that out. Adam says he uses New Year opening gap. It's a great gap to fill. Love a good gap fill on New Year's. Past 3 funded accounts because of you. You need to start a Discord and make some money. I'm not interested in making money off of you guys, man, to be completely honest. I know that probably sounds stupid from a business perspective, but I make enough trading where I don't need to do that. But I do have a Discord. It's in the bio if you want to join it. It's free. How many payouts have I gotten? I've gotten almost every day. I've taken a TPT payout for the last 2 months. And Apex accounts, every 8 days, virtually every 8 days, I've taken an Apex payout of at least 2,000 for the past 2 months. And before that, I was taking a payout maybe once or twice a week. This month, now Reaper, this month I haven't taken that much out. I have taken close to that, but not quite that. That's what my total P&L is for the month, but I haven't been able to withdraw all that because of the Apex withdrawal rules of the every 8 days. Yeah, so December and January, I think will be I think if we just stay disciplined and keep doing what we're doing, January really, because December there's a whole week that we don't trade because of Christmas. I think January will be probably my best month, potentially. We'll see though. Is TPT a good firm for someone starting out? I like them a lot, Payne. They do have trailing drawdown, which some people have a hard time with. But in terms of like, I think getting your first payout is a crucial thing because it kind of breaks some sort of mental barrier. Because we put the first payout on such a pedestal, man. And there's a cycle. This is going to sound, for a lot of people, this isn't going to make sense. But anyone who plays video games will understand this. Anybody who's ever played Fortnite or Warzone or any of those battle royale games, you remember how hard that first win was? That first win just seemed like unobtainable. And then you got it, and it was like the best feeling in the world. But then after that, it wasn't that hard to get a win. Payouts are very similar to that. Payouts are very, very similar to that. So the reason I say that TPT allows you to take daily payouts once you've hit the drawdown, the buffer. So for a 50K account, that's $2,000. So once your account you pass the eval and you get it funded, you have to get the funded 50K account to 52,000 total balance, and then everything above that you can withdraw on a daily basis. So you make 100. There's a penalty for taking less than like a $250 payout, but let's say you make $1,000 in a day. This is what I did yesterday on 5 accounts with TPT. You can take a $1,000 withdrawal on each of those accounts. and you just put $5,000 into your bank account. And I think that if you hit that, once you hit that first payout, it breaks some sort of mental barrier where the next one doesn't seem so unobtainable. What's the weird stringy line? That's called the VWAP. Volume weighted average price. That's this indicator. If you lose 1,000, you do not have to pay them. No, you don't owe them anything other than what you paid for the account, man. Whatever you paid for the account, you blow the account altogether and you lose it, you're just out whatever you paid for the account. Which in TPT's case, with a 50K all in, it's like $108. Why is your bias bearish? It's not. I have a pretty bullish bias, but what I'm thinking is we usually, when we tap into a resistance level like this daily gap, like that high time frame PD array, price usually rejects out of it at least initially, and then tries to push through it if it's going to. So what I'd be looking for is a tap into this, a sweep of this level, and then I just want to catch. I don't even need to catch that much, man. If I can just catch, 5 to 10 points with 1 or 2 minis, that's a couple $100 right there. That's all I need. I don't need to go for a home run. Class today, yeah, 12:30. Book map showing it's pretty bare, but there are orders down at 67.60. And then you got some room to the upside up to 67.90 and then 6,800. So 67.90 right here, and then 6,800 right basically where London, right near London high. What's up, Nathan? How's it going, man? You made 2,200 off that? Very nice, man. Well, I think about Trade Locker, I'm not familiar with either of those, Reaper. Why is January going to be your best month? Because we have Thanksgiving this month that cuts the trading month short, and then same with December. You have Christmas that cuts the trading month a little bit short. So January will be like the first full month that I'll have all 20 Apex accounts trading and all 5 TPT accounts trading, all funded. Yeah, but I'm not trading Thursday or Friday, Adam. Might not trade Monday or Tuesday either. Price typically is not the best on those weeks. Wishing you a 100K month in January. I appreciate that, man. I'm wishing you the same. Wishing you a 200K month. Well, I only have 10 right now. I have 10 funded Apex and I have 10 Apex evals, but those 10 evals should pass. I mean, projection wise on my daily average, if I trade today and tomorrow and I take profit, my daily averages say that I'll pass by Friday. Hope you that a quarter mil. Appreciate that balance. I'm just wishing for a 5K month. You can do that, Kato. You got that. User says, how many screens do you have to have 2 trading views open? I only have 1 trading view open, but I have Trade of 8. So I have a 49-inch monitor here. I have a 32 that's on its side right here, and then a 27 next to that. So I have Bookmap on the 27. I have you guys on the 32-inch. So I have half of it is my TikTok live stream, half of it is my YouTube live stream. Then on the 49-inch, I have half of it a trading view, half of it is Trade of 8. So I have on TradeOvate, I have both NQ and ES showing on the 30-second charts. And then on TradingView, I'm sitting here and you can see what I can see on there. Hey, I've had this set up, Nathan. I've had this since I started, man. Never too big for you, though, bro. I remember you're at day one. I will never forget it. A couple of you guys have been here since I had 2 or 3 people watching. What's the book map looking like? Reaper's been here a while too, yeah. NQ tapped into the daily, yeah. It barely touched it. Definitely want to see a deeper dig. I'm keeping an eye on ES because I think ES will be the leader. Appreciate everybody that's been here, man. I appreciate all you guys. Target London low. I don't know if it would go that low. That would be beautiful if it did, Nick. What I would be trying to get, I'm hoping for some more sell side liquidity to build up here. Look at this. They were building this sell side liquidity, all of this stuff. Might even get a dip back before that, but I would like to see these highs get taken and then eat up some of that sell side. That would be ideal. I don't need it to go. I mean, if it went all the way down, that'd be awesome, but not necessarily required for me to make some decent money today. I got to sign in. I just realized that I'm not signed into my account here on TradingView, so let me hide this from you guys real quick so I can sign in. I'm going to sign into my take profit account here. There we go. Blew my funded last night, or last Friday, boo. Working 2 new evals, need only 50 today and tomorrow to pass. Let's go. Don't force it, Jeff. You got that. Supreme, I have not tried Rhythmic. I haven't had a reason to switch from TradeOvate, so I'm not familiar with it. You don't use SMTs, do you? I incorporate them, but I don't. Some people rely on them, I think, too heavily. Sometimes it's just one indicator's lagging more than the other. It's just making a small deviation versus the other one. It's not necessarily, people use them almost solely sometimes. I've seen some people take trades strictly off of SMTs, and I don't do anything like that. SMTs are basically a divergence in the 2 indices. So if you have a leading indicator like ES, it starts to make a move, and NQ hasn't necessarily made that move yet. There's reason to believe that NQ is about to make the same move. So like if you say, for instance, right here, took a short and on ES or on NQ, and somebody explain this easier. Basically, when one indice starts going in a certain direction, you have reason to believe that the other indice will do it. So if we were in a long right now and ES started dumping, you'd say, shoot, should I get out of this trade because that's an SMT at the highs, and maybe that means that we're about to dump and my long is no longer valid. Does that make sense? Did I just explain that right? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I did? Okay. Yeah. smart money technique, I think is what it means. It doesn't necessarily, it's, the acronym isn't descriptive of the actual move. That's what SMT stands for. Yeah, that's NQ. This is ES. Still waiting for this daily to get taken here. Do you think it's going to wick and dump again like it did yesterday? I hope not, man. A lot of you guys caught that move, though, didn't you? Was it right here? No, that's not it. There was a 2-hour gap, I think, from yesterday. It's right here. No, it wasn't. I can't remember. Past 100K eval. Nice. Short was beautiful. Yep, passed my funded on that. There you go. I'm not familiar with Trade Locker at all. How does it work with Forex? I am unfamiliar with Forex. I lost my butt on Forex when I first started trading, and I haven't gone back. Tried it for like a while. Do I use copper to validate? This is not Forex, so I don't look at metals or currencies in any relation to future to Nasdaq or S&P futures. Honestly, lost so much to trading due to my own mental that I just said F it and started only following my rules like a robot. That's what you got to do. And green boy, that is exactly the level that most traders get to, where they just get so sick and tired of losing that it's just like, I'm willing to basically stop making I was talking to my girlfriend actually about this last night. It's amazing how it's like, here's a little bit of a dump that we're getting here. I don't think this is a sustainable dump, but I think this is a little bit, maybe down to maybe to this 60 level. I hope this isn't just a little move that I wanted to get this sell side. This is the kind of move that I'm talking about, but I want to see us tap into this range first. It might be happening now, and I'm going to not get it later. We'll see, though. But I was talking about, like, it's like touching the fire, man. It's like every time you break your rules is the equivalent of like touching the fire and knowing you're going to get burned, but thinking that it's going to be different this time. And eventually you get tired of that. Yeah. That's awesome, Green, because that, to me, that was the turning point for my trading. Is there a reason for a successful trader with a 500K portfolio to use a prop firm? Yeah, you can just milk them. I mean, dude, if you can sit here and milk Apex, I mean, you do the totals on the Apex and TPT. If you just trade those two firms, I mean, TPT, it's limitless. But if you're trading at the same pace that you're trading your Apex, even just keeping track of it on your daily profit level, if they're neck and neck, and you're taking payouts every chance you get, you're talking like you're making like 160 a month, man. There's no, I don't, and the risk, you're not risking your actual portfolio. Like if you're trading your personal capital of 500 grand, that whole 500 grand's potentially at risk. You know, you blow your accounts, you blow your Apex accounts, you're out what you just paid for the account, basically. You just start right over. Yeah, this short was this is the move I was talking about, taking up all this sell side. But we didn't sweep a major level. Yeah, we tapped into this gap, tapped into that daily and dumped. But I wanted to see ES tap it, and it didn't. I believe in you, man. I believe in you, man. What do you think is a better prop firm, TPT or Apex? TPT, without a doubt. Just in terms of just strictly rules, you remove the idea that you can scale 20 accounts, you remove all of that, just strictly rules, strictly how fast the payouts are, all of that. TPT, without a doubt. Appreciate that, Reaper. Have a good one, man. Verse of the day. You asked a question for clarity, but you're further confused now. Well, you were asking about Forex. You're gonna ask again. I'll try to ask the question again. I'll try to give you a better answer. Ask it again. Tristan posted Psalms 94:19. When anxiety was great within, your consolation brought joy to my soul. There you go. How long did I study ICT content? 2 years, maybe, year and a half. That Drake candle just stopped me out. Still targeting London high. Yeah, Ben, I was not. That's why I was saying the whole time I've been waiting for a short, because I didn't want to get in the middle of the range of that long. Not when we're sitting here between these two. If I'd gotten in the long down here, then I'd have been fine with holding. But we're basically in the middle of these two gaps. I wasn't looking for that. This is the 15 right here. I was also taking dumb trades that didn't follow my rules, and they would sometimes hit, and it grew a bad habit. Yeah, that's the worst, dude. If you break your rules and it works out, that's a very bad positive reinforcement of a negative behavior. I think that's a good idea, Matt. I think that's a good idea. I think props are, I mean, dude, you think about the concept in general, like it's such a small risk for such a large upside. Book map is lit up down to 67.60. So basically the bottom of this 5-minute gap. The money you earn, yeah, you're talking about from breaking your rules. Yeah, the money you earn from breaking your rules is not yours, and it will get taken eventually. It's like the equivalent of like the ball never lies type of thing. What's your favorite time frame? I like the 5-minute. What is Bookmap? Bookmap is this beautiful, lovely thing right here. Do I hoop? No, I don't. Used to play baseball, but no hooping. If this gets down to the lit up part of the Bookmap, would you go longs or get a correction? Haley, I'd be very, very hesitant to do that. For me personally, I can see why somebody would justify that, and it most likely would work out because we're still bullish. You could potentially take this as a continuation up to that London high. Not a bad trade at all to take. I'd have my stops pretty tight below this. probably if I was going to take this and be in the trade right now, my stops would be just below. Man, I'd want a little bit deeper of a dig to have a better stop, to be honest. But stops would probably be below this candle wick. If I get a dig down to this 60 level would be my entry, and my stops would be below this 5-minute candle wick. Sorry, I've still got the book map on. If I got an entry on this down at the bottom of this 5-minute, my stop would be below this 5-minute candle right here. But I'm not taking this trade just because, like I said, I'm looking for something different. Yeah, I want to sweep. What's the drawdown in TPT? 2,000 for a 50K account, I believe. I'm using the 100K accounts, and those had a $3,000 drawdown. This might create some more momentum here, so if you're looking to take this long, be careful. I'd wait to see how it reacts when it scoops up these orders at 67.60 if it does. Because if we inverted this 5 to the downside here, we could be digging all the way back to London. So just be very careful. How much are you benching? Not enough. I just work out with 315, man. I don't max out right now. I just throw 315 on there and do my 3 sets of 10 if I can get 10. Most of the time by the second or third set, I'm only getting 8, 7. It clicked the other day for me. Everyone hates a little different time. If you don't follow your rules or try to rush, you're exactly right, Green. You're exactly right, man. It's an indicator. What helped you become more patient? Getting sick of losing, getting punched in the mouth enough by the markets. This is the fair value gap indicator. My 1 rep max is 265. Dude, that's more than probably 99% of the world can do. I don't know that statistic specifically. I know that it's very rare to bench 225 in terms of the global population. It takes people longer to get down the psychology and the mindset. Too many people try to get rich quick. Exactly, yeah. Don't see the actual work people put in behind the scenes. Yeah, man, they see people, even like, I'm not saying I'm super successful, especially not compared to some of these other guys out here. I'm making decent money. I'm paying my bills. But they see that and they think it like I want to do that too. I'm going to hop on the charts and make that happen. Dude, this is 4 years of like some of the most grueling mental anguish you've ever been through, in terms of just like feeling like you're an idiot, just doubting yourself. Every negative thought you have about yourself will manifest itself on these charts, and it'll cause you to have to really face those things and get a grip on it and figure it out. And most people aren't. They've never. I mean, let's be honest. Most people have never really been at that point where they're truly having to do some hard things. So yeah, it's the easiest, hardest money you'll ever make, because once you get a hang of it, and you develop a system that works, it becomes a lot. You get the blueprint. You understand it's never easy, but the psychological discipline that it takes to get to that point is extremely difficult. Yeah, Dre. Yeah, I do. Ever heard of Mark Douglas? I have. Still got a bunch of orders down at 67.60. So We'll see how this reacts in this 5 minute. Hit my target today. Going to get funded in a few days. Any tips for first time fundeds? Yeah, size down and then trade exactly the way you've been trading, man. Pretend it's still an eval. I mean, just or don't even look at it like an eval versus a funded. Just trade. I was talking to somebody last night, and they were like talking about switching their strategy based on this scenario or that scenario. I was like, dude, I trade the same way every time. The only time I change up my sizing or anything like that is if my stop's going to be longer than I'd like it to be. But I found more success trading a cookie cutter style versus trying to trade evals one way, trade fundeds one way. I might risk a little bit heavier on evals, but in terms of the setups I'm willing to take and the rules that I follow, it's no different, man. Try to just develop a robotic system that you stick to and don't deviate. You bought right now, we're tapping into this 5 minute gap, so I would not have advised that, but it could work out. Showed me how much I needed to work on myself to be the trader that brings in 5-6 figures a month. Exactly, dude. Yeah, I'd say the discipline in your everyday life, like going to the gym and eating correctly, those sorts of things do translate onto the charts too. Going to bed at a decent hour, waking up at a decent hour. I think all of that translate to being more successful trading. You know, a lot of people won't want to hear this or they'll think that I'm being funny, but you dudes who are sitting there gooning every single day, that's a huge hindrance to your success. I promise you that, because it takes a level of discipline to resist that sort of behavior, and if you can't do that, you're not going to be able to resist taking a trade. You get a grip on that, you'll start to see more success on the charts too. Close these blinds. I'm serious. Sleep is my biggest problem. I haven't gotten more than 4 hours of sleep in a night, probably 2 years. Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to sleep and you're just having issues with it, I'd get that figured out. But if it's just one of those deals where you're staying up playing video games or you're out partying and drinking, man, I don't recommend that. $67.60 are where the big orders are lit up from, basically from 67.57 all the way up to 67.61. Matt or Randall, was it Randall? No, Samir. Don't even start, Tristan. Don't even start with that. I got you, Aiden. Can you show it one more time? You talking about the book map? Aiden, I got you, man. I know that we're all struggling in some areas of our life. I'll pray for you, man. I got you. Santi, what are you talking about, dude? Good morning to you too, bro. Can you describe what a breaker is? Yeah, it's a, let's see. Got a breaker here. Low, high, lower low, higher high. Breaker. Basically the last leg up before a sweep lower, or in the other direction, it would be a last leg down before sweep higher. We pushing through this 5 minute here? Yeah, we are. Tapped right into this zone here and dipped right back out. Some people say it includes the wicks. I don't go with the wicks. I go with the bodies. Mountains or beach, non-trading question. Both. I moved to where I am now from the beach, man. I once you've lived there for a little while, it's kind of like it loses its like special feeling. So I think anywhere you live kind of loses its special feeling after a while. But my ideal situation is to have the ability to live in both. Just switch back and forth. I gotta use the restroom real quick. Be right back. Florida fitting to be underwater. Ever want to move to Florida? I almost moved to Fort Lauderdale a while ago, man. I would like to have a house down there at some point. Spend 6 months in one day out of the year down there. This looks pretty decent to the upside here, to be honest, according to the book map, but that doesn't mean much. It could dump through it. What country would you want to visit? Argentina, Uruguay, Japan, Scotland. Does TPT have a consistency rule? Yeah, you can't make more than half of your total profits in one day, and you have to trade for 5 days total to pass the eval. Have not taken a trade yet. Switzerland would be cool too, yeah. Marco Island, Florida, is gorgeous. Yeah, it is. Also want to go to Jordan, man. I want to check out Jordan. I got some Jordanian friends. Love to go check that place out. Nick says you have a roof over your head here and a barbecue. Man, I'd love to come check it out, Nick. Down there in Uruguay, looks like a really cool place. I'm in Japan next February and March. There you go, Jan. I might be going there next summer around like June. Not 100% sure yet. Have not taken a trade yet. No. Want to see this buy side get taken and then potentially target some low resistance sell side liquidity. I wanted this move to happen right here. I mean, you see all this sell side that we kind of just picked up. How big of a move is that? Basically got, I mean, that's a 20-point move, really. 17, we'll call it 17. That's all I really need. I mean, if I took that trade, that's, 800 bucks right there on all my accounts. I'm not looking to be greedy. I'm fine with that. But I'm waiting to see if we take this level and then hopefully get a move like that. You planning to buy any cars? Yeah. Stay tuned. I'm waiting. I have a theory about my thinking about when you go to buy a car. I think that the car that you buy, I'm kind of a Dave Ramsey guy when it comes to buying cars. I think you need to pay cash, buy something that you can pay cash for. And my personal goal is to have enough money to be able to buy that car at least 2 times before I buy it once. So if you're buying a $50,000 car, you have at least $100,000 to be able to do it. So when I do buy the car that I want, I'm going to have at least enough to buy 2 of them. At least. Yeah, I got to get rid of this Ford Pinto I've been driving around. C7 vet? No. If I was gonna get a vet, it'd be a C8, but no, I mean, I've looked at those. I've looked at the C8 Z06s. Those are sick. I actually have one saved that's pretty gnarly. I'll show it to you. This one. Pretty dirty. Well, can't see that. You can see that though. Thing's pretty sick, but not what I'm thinking. Yeah, I think that vet is pretty sick. I like the color, like the blue, and the interior's nice, black with the blue trim and all that. Things optioned out to the max. It's for sale if anybody wants it. R3 Motor Cars, Naples, Florida. Down 1K today? What happened, Bruno? You're speaking my language, Candle Kid. You're speaking my language. I like C7 Vets or the N3 G80. G80, dude, man, Coop, you should see the G80. The guy that lives in this building where I am, he has a, he's got like that, I think it's called like Nardo Gray. He's got the Nardo Gray N3 G80 with the carbon bucket seats. It's so dirty, dude. It's so clean. Love it. Brother went to Barron College. That is random. How do you feel about a long to long highs? Not a bad idea off this 5-minute. Not a bad idea. I could justify that trade. Stops would be below this candle wick if I was going to do that. I'm personally not going to do it, but I can see where you're coming from. Stops either below this candle wick, or you can make them, if you're willing to take a little more risk, you can put them below this 5-minute. That's been a pretty clear level of support right there. This is the 5-minute. You do have orders stacked up all the way to 6,800. So RS7s are nice, man. Yeah, I like those. Yeah, so Randall, you're the one that posted that in the Discord, right? I saw that M340 you got in there. I call those the baby M's. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's still a very nice car, man. A lot of people would give an arm to have that. It's a clean spec you got too. I said it's a baby M, little baby M. I'm just kidding though. I love the spec that you got. M Light. Do you like McLarens? I do. Little spaceships, man. I think they're some of the fastest cars, quickest. dipping back into this 5 minute here. So orders down to 67.75, which would be down here at this level. So McLaren F1 is my favorite. Yeah. The P1, dirty. It's all just metal and plastic though, man. A little carbon fiber in there. I mean, it's all A to B. Some people just want a car. London is sitting on ES. It's sitting right here. It's 68.0150. You remind me of Joey Swole so much, bro. Appreciate that, man. He seems like he's a good dude. Yo, you're yoked, bro. Appreciate that, man. So happy with my CRV. Dude, it's a great car. CRV is a great car. Honda makes some really good cars. I drove my boss's McLaren, had to bring it back to his house. I was so scared. Yeah, that is a scary feeling. C-bum if he was trading boss. I'm not nearly as big as him, man, but I appreciate that. Dude is yoked. Christian, when are we getting the Ford Pinto walk around video? I don't want to make anybody jealous of my Ford Pinto, man. Taxes for our cars in Uruguay are 65%. Holy cow, dude. Dying to see the two-tone. Thought you had a Nissan Leaf, man. Nah, I got rid of the Leaf. I got rid of the Leaf, and then I had a Prius for a little while. Now I got the Pinto. Had to size down. I blew too many fundeds, man. I had to size down. BMW X3 goes for 90K. That is outrageous, man. That is outrageous. NVIDIA earnings boosting market, I think. Yeah, dude, that whole move last, what was it, around 4 o'clock yesterday or whatever? This move right here. This was NVIDIA earnings. And the S&P is still feeding off of that. I'm kidding, man. Maddie, I'm kidding. I haven't blown any fundeds. Not recently. Not since September. His account 55K, exactly like yours. It's crazy. Yeah, he's a scammer, man. I can't get TikTok to remove that account. This is my only account. If anybody's hitting you up asking about your portfolio or crypto or your trading or anything, it's not me. Here's the push up to this daily gap. So we might be getting what I was looking for here, up to 6,800, and then it kind of dies off there. So let's see what gets injected into the market once it gets to a little higher here. See what happens. I'm live on YouTube, Aiden. Christian Trades Live. Samad, no, we haven't taken. I've been looking for the tap into this daily so we can potentially pick up some of this sell side liquidity that we created on the way up, but we just kind of got this kind of robbed me a little bit of the idea because it took this sell side for 22 points. So I'm hoping we create a little bit more sell side liquidity, low resistance on the way up, and then we can have something to feed off of. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not completely married to the idea. I want to see how we react when we get to this level. And the reason I say this is because I wasn't able to get in on these longs because this was pre-market. and I didn't want to take a trade pre-market. So wasn't able to take a trade pre-market. I'm not going to take a trade in the middle of the range. So the next feasible trade to take would be a short out of this zone. So if that doesn't happen and it doesn't look like a perfect, a very clean setup, then I'm just not going to take a trade. At least not until later, until something else presents. Santi, I know you're joking, man, but there is some people out there that do that kind of stuff, and it's wild that they fall for it. What do you mean, Ducati? Like on the like on these daily charts and the 4-hour charts and whatnot? Typically, you want to go off of the first presented. So first presented from whatever move. Like if it's a move down, you want to go for the first presented bullish gap or bearish gap on the higher time frame. The first presented gaps are the ones that hold the most weight from my experience. So on this move down here, like if you think this is the top of the move and this is the move down, this one that we're getting, this daily gap that we're getting ready to tap into that I have marked out is the first presented. You obviously have this inversion below that, but that's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in this first presented bearish daily gap. Four-hour, you look at the 4-hour here. That 4-hour, so you do have that 4-hour higher there, which would be the first presented 4-hour gap. But that's why I said we're going to see how we react in this zone once we hit it. If we just get a push through this, then obviously that kind of negates my thinking. But we'll see how price reacts. I'm not going to automatically have my finger on the trigger taking a short here. Search and destroy conditions, yeah, it's pretty much just, I mean, it kind of is, yeah. My definition of search and destroy is when it's like going up and it looks like it's just going hard in one direction and then it just falls and then goes hard again. I think this is pretty steady state going higher. But yeah, I can see what you're saying there, BC. Hopefully we can find some bearish momentum once we go into that gap. Yeah, I agree. That's kind of what I'm waiting on. Order stacked up to 6,800 pretty aggressively. There is a little bit of liquidity above that to 6,810, which would be just above this lunch high. So that's why I said we're going to see how we react to this 6,800 level and kind of play it by ear. Do you make money off TikTok yet? Not a lot. A little bit, not a lot really. Hardly any really, comparatively. How long did it take you to understand the book map? It took me a while, man. I've been looking at it for about a year, but only about 3 or 4 months have I like intently been watching it every single day. I spent a lot of time just watching the book map and not trading. Like PM sessions and Asia sessions. I'll just sit here sometimes and watch the chart, just watch how the chart compares to the book map action. So I think that's really how you get comfortable reading it. Is that a session indicator, the lines you have? It is a session indicator that I use to mark out those lines, but I don't keep the indicator turned on. I manually mark them out with the ray tool and then turn the indicator off. Does PJ use the unicorn ICT model? Yeah, he does. Yeah, a lot of people don't. I'm one of those people where I don't necessarily like trading during 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock Eastern time, lunchtime, because the volume just kind of lulls a little bit. But sometimes there's some good setups. Like I think I took a trade at 12:30 the other day, and it played out well. It was on the 15, and it really played well. Am I going to purchase PJ's indicator? No. They've been working on that for a while, man. I'm not interested. I don't like to rely on indicators that heavily. I feel like I can read the charts well enough where I'm not going to pay that kind of money. Promise you it's not going to be cheap. I actually, for anybody in here who trades options, had a guy, he's basically my brother-in-law. Not really, because I'm not married to him, to anybody in his family, but he's my brother's brother-in-law. He trades options. He's been doing it for 8 or 9 years now, and they've been working on a couple of options indicators that are pretty interesting. This is one of them right here. This is one of them right here. It doesn't have the name on it, but I'm learning these, and I'm planning to show these to you guys for anybody who's interested in options. He's got a Tesla one here, but I've been following these the past 2 or 3 days just to get. He introduced them to me, and I'm getting familiar with them. So before I recommend them to anybody, I want to get familiar with them and see how they work. But these indicators so far, from what I'm seeing, are pretty dialed in. He does the coding and all that himself. So for anybody who's interested in options indicators, those are going to be pretty interesting once I feel more comfortable pitching those to you guys. Not married to anybody in his family. That's what I meant. Slip of the tongue. He's my brother's brother-in-law. So he's married to my brother's wife's sister. He's probably in here. Hassan, no, we haven't taken any trades. We're looking for this buy side to get swept. You knew what I meant, you guys. You guys are silly. I think it's time to put the magnets on the chart. It is lulling, man. We need this to get. There's not enough volume here. There's plenty of orders to the upside here. Am I thinking of proposing to him soon? Yeah, I've been thinking about it, man. You might have to turn that on, Brian. The midnight thing, when you scroll down on the settings under the inputs tab, true day open, under opening prices, it's under true day open right here. So you might have to turn that on, and the 8:30. So that if you don't have it on, that's probably why it's not showing. So you got to flip that on. We need the magnets. Do like turbo and put like 15 of them on here. What's your workout split? I usually do back and bi, chest and tri, legs and abs, shoulders and arms. And then take the day off and then do it again. Is there a way to see how much intraday? Yeah, Chris. So if you're on Tradeovate, you know how it like shows your accounts there in the bottom of the screen. Click on the gear icon where it says View Settings and go to Select Columns and put distance. It'll say DIST space drawdown space net space lick. That's distance to drawdown net liquidity. Put that on, and it'll show you exactly how much drawdown you have. Am I in a trade? No. No. They just wanted this because this is what I'm looking for. Price to come up, take that, and then potentially get a short. Yeah, that short right there. But it really, I mean, the only thing that was going off of, I think, was the fact that we had tapped into this on NQ. So I wasn't going to take it based on NQ. I'm looking at ES. So I mean, you could have taken that short, but not in the wheelhouse of exactly what I'm looking for yet. Was that in? I think they actually filmed that on the. Was that Lake Como in the background, or Lake Como in what that scene you're talking about in Star Wars? Yeah, that's what I thought. It's a beautiful spot, man. I'd call it a day. Why 225? It's 3 trades, man. It's one more trade than I usually take. I would definitely be tempted to call it a day and just be happy that you're not super red. Yeah, you made it out. You made it out alive. Yeah, dude. It's not a bad day as long as you're not. I mean, still in a long to London high. I'm negative 400 right now. I mean, if your stop's below this 5 minute, then where was your entry? Your entry should have been on this 5 minute if you're doing that. Did you take it off of this inversion? Beer this early. Laser, I haven't had any alcohol since January 6th of 2022, man. It's a LaCroix. It is a limoncello LaCroix. And I damn sure would not be trading if I was drinking. Although I might have back in the day, but I need 20 for my top step consistency roll. It's one of those fake silicone covers to hide the beer. I just like sticking to the 150 since it's what I need when I got you. Drinking and trading is crazy. That would be very bad formula. What was the reason you stopped drinking? Because it was killing me, literally. And I was not a nice person. Was not productive. I marked out I marked those out in conjunction with an indicator. So I have an indicator that shows that daily gap right there, but I drew the rectangle on it. Same with the 4 hour. There's an indicator that marks those out. I drew that. Yeah, it's not a good idea, Coop. Yeah, I do have days where I don't trade at all. Yeah. Yeah, Saturday and Sunday. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Now, if I don't see a setup, I won't take a trade. What indicator? It's called, it's right here. Spoken like a true degen. I mean, I haven't had a red day in a while, man. I mean, knock on wood. Probably should not have just said that, but I've been pretty good about staying disciplined and only taking decent trades. We took that $1,200 loss and then came back from it. What was it? 2 days ago. Took our second trade and got in profit, but that would have been a decent trade if I had just not been so greedy. I should have closed the trade earlier. We were up from my TradeZilla. It said we were up like $780. Should have just taken profits and called it a day. I got a little greedy. You haven't had a red day yet, but your win rate is 46%. I wouldn't focus on win rate, man. If you're look at your profit factor, K1. Profit factor is the most important thing. So, like, yeah, you can have a 47 or 50% win rate, but if your wins are massive and your losses are small, then I wouldn't stress it. Sounds like you're not letting trades run though. Like as soon as you get into a little bit of drawdown, you're closing them maybe. Made more money on Asia than AM switching sessions. Yeah, Santi, I would definitely say that if by like 11 o'clock you haven't seen a setup, it's pretty much you should think about calling it, and then if you want, come back around like 1:30 or 2. Um, that's my opinion. What happened? We took a short. I took a short mostly based on the book map, and there was a key level at 6,700. And yes, I remember it. It was at 6,700 and was waiting for, excuse me, 6,600. It was at 6,600. Right here. Was it right here? I think it was on Monday, yeah. And something happened. I was short, and we were looking to target this level, and I got stopped out, and then price just went right to it. I think it was right here. So we were short right here, and instead of taking profit right here, I was short from like up here. It was up 800 bucks or so, and then price came back, stopped me out, came back down, went up a little bit, and then went right to the level. Didn't happen until later in the session, but I had the right target, wrong timing. Got stopped out. I wouldn't have gotten into this trade unless I took it off of this 5-minute gap in here, and then my stop would have been pretty tight below it probably. What are we tapping into here that we're rejecting on? It's just rejecting out of that daily. Tapping into a 4-hour here. Yeah, I didn't mark that. I was thinking the daily would hold more weight than this 4-hour, but it looks like the 4 hours holding some weight. It just looks crowded now. We'll drop to the 5, and the 4-hour will be there. There we go. Do you still think it'll go up and take London high? I'd be surprised if it didn't, but we'll see. I think it'll tap into that daily gap. This daily up here that's overlapping with this 4-hour. We'll see though. Hey yo, what up? What do you use to journal your red and green days? I have my accounts connected to my funded accounts connected to TradeZilla. It's a software, or it's a website, and it automatically populates your trades. So if you win or lose, it's automatically tallying all that up. Keeps track of all kinds of metrics, man. Keeps track of your profit factor, win rate, days won, percentage, average win loss, all kinds of stuff. Tells you like if you get out of trades early, it tells you what you would have made if you had held longer. If I had held some of those shorts yesterday, I could have made $4,445 more, but I didn't want to because I hit the target profit for my Apex accounts. So it gives you all kinds of different solid metrics to learn from. Do I re-op max after this training session? Is that a typo? take half the gap and go back up. It'd be interesting. We got orders stacked up coming in harder down to 67.50 now. So down to this. What's up, Rips? How's it going, man? What is rope, Max? I would have screwed myself out of being able to take a withdrawal if I'd done that. If I had taken that extra 4K, would have had created more work for myself. Oh no, don't do that. Please don't do that. Not worth it. No amount of money lost is worth that. Down 2K, call it a day, man. Don't overtrade. Don't overtrade more. What do I use to mark the fair value gaps? This indicator right here. All right, man, it's 11. Closing out my trading window for the day. Small green day today. Follow my rules, and greens are not bad. I'll see you tomorrow. Hey, appreciate that, green boy. Appreciate that, man. Glad you're green, and good job sticking to your rules, man. That's hard. Gets easier the more you do it. I'm sure you're aware of that, but good job. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the subscription. Sounds like everybody's struggling with this. I haven't taken a trade, man. This isn't, I haven't gotten exactly what I want yet. Take it easy, Jay. How long you been trading? 4 years. Around 4 years, almost 4 years, around 4 years. I don't remember exactly what month I started. Started trading props in October of last year, though. What instrument or pair? This is ES, so this is S&P 500. Man, this is short all the way down to 67.50 here, to the midnight open, basically. Props are great, man. Yeah, I highly recommend trading prop firms. I have class at 12:30. I'm gonna smack this reversal when it comes. It'd be interesting to see if we go all the way to London low. Yeah, Tom, I'm interested to see if that's what happens. How long do you usually live? 11:30ish on the days that I have class at 12:30, typically. So either between 11 and 11:30, between now and 11:30. How much have you made from props? I've made enough to pay my bills and to continuously put away some savings. Brutus, that's tough, man. Was down 1K on new funded. No, we haven't taken any trades yet. Haven't gotten our setup. Haven't gotten what we're looking for. This week is hard. I haven't found a single trade this week, but everyone else is like everyone else is. Any tips? John, I think VC Trades just hit it on the head, man. I think you're executing discipline. If you didn't see something you liked and you didn't take unnecessary risk, I think you're on the right track. I will say that there have been some A+. There was an A+ setup earlier in the week on yesterday. There was a couple of A+ setups for my trading style. Now, if it doesn't align with yours, then it wasn't an A+ setup. But I would say examine the strategy you're using and see for one, how consistent, what the win rate is for that specific strategy, and you can do so by either looking this up yourself or back testing it over decades of data. You find a platform that allows you to have access to decades of trading data. Like TradeZilla goes back, I think, to 2000. It goes back a while, so you can back test a strategy and see what the win rate is for that strategy. And then if that strategy has a high win rate, but you're not able to clearly see it, clearly identify it when it presents itself, then maybe you need to find something that is more obvious to you that when it appears on the charts. Can I show an A+ setup? Yeah, this was one right here. What was that one that we took? I mean, this is a pretty good setup right here. It's decent. This isn't the, remember the one that I took a picture of and posted it? What day was that? Tuesday, Wednesday? We got orders getting swept down here to 65.50. Hang on, let me show this real quick for anybody that's targeting this short. I will show one in just a minute. Yeah, sometimes, John, that's why I will come back in the afternoon. Typically around like 1:30, I'll check back in on the charts to kind of, that session's a good session too, the 1:30 to 3:30 time frame. There's that sweep. Still a couple orders down at 67.56. But that just swept most of the liquidity right there. So this could be where it potentially goes back up. This was the move that I wanted, but I wanted to come out of this daily gap above us after we took London high. But John, I would recommend checking out the PM session, dude. Don't force anything. You're still looking for the same thing. Don't change what you're looking for. But if it's presenting itself in that session, I would say that's a high probability time frame that is not bad to trade. 1:30 to 3:30, 1:30 to 3 time frame. Even sometimes 1:30 to 4. Sometimes when it gets close to market close, you get some really good setups taking place around that time. I don't typically trade then, but I know plenty of people that do. They look for that, end of day move. How's Bookmap looking? We just swept the majority of the liquidity that we were targeting down here to this zone, but we still do have more orders coming in now back down to 67.50, 67.46, that span from 67.46 to 67.51, that whole span in there. Dre says, appreciate you going live every day. Appreciate that, Dre. Appreciate you being here, man. Got burned last night, made half my money back on that short. I'm off. There you go. Smart. No need to try to get it all back in one go, man. No, and we haven't taken any trades. Still didn't get what we were looking for here. I wanted to tap into this daily up higher here. Wanted to tap into that. We only got to tap into the 4 hour. Not being greedy, close out for 200 today. There you go. What is your usual RR? I don't like take trades or put my stop losses with that in mind. It's a byproduct of taking good entries and having smart stop losses, but it works out to be 3 to 1 is what my average is. For every dollar that I lose, I'm making $3.15. So my wins are, that's my profit factor, 3.15. So No class today for 5 o'clock, for my 5 o'clock class. That's nice. Skin is itching. You take some pre-workout or something? Just entered a long, hoping for a fat long. You still have orders coming in down to 67.40 now. Keep an eye on that, down to this level. We could get a hit down to that level, and then that's where I would keep an eye on things. But the book map is lit up down to there. I'm going to use the restroom again. Sorry about this. I've been drinking too much coffee and water. I'll be right back. No class, yeah. It's definitely a nice feeling. NQ's about to take that London low. This was the short that I wanted, man, but I guess I should have been eyeing. This is actually, I would say this is a mistake on my part by not having this 4 hour marked out. I was assuming that the daily would be the determinative gap there, and so I didn't mark out that 4 hour. That was actually not a very smart move on my part. So I might have been more inclined to take this, but at the same time, we did not sweep these highs, so I think I still would have been hesitant even with this the knowledge of this 4 hour gap. There you go, IDK. We're really lit up here to the downside, to 67.38. I mean, we're aggressively lit up here on the book map. We do have orders up to 67.50, but we are lit up hard down to 67.40 where this line is on my chart, or 67.37. That's like the where it ends. Yeah, see, we're gonna dip here. This is like a situation where I might have thrown on 2 or 3 minis and just taken this small little short here. See, that would have played out. You guys sometimes ask me, what trade did you take? Those are the kind of trades that I'm taking sometimes, where I'll just throw on 2 or 3 minis when it becomes so clear on the book map that it's like that's where it's going. I'll be perfectly fine throwing on 2 or 3 minis and just taking those 3 or 4 points, and that's several $100s right there. We're lit up even lower now, down to 67.35. It's not as concrete as what we just had. We're lighting up higher, but we now have more orders coming in lower, so we'll see what happens right here. I would have been out of this trade already though. Up 500. Yeah, that's literally what you did. There you go. Yeah, that's an example of an aggressive scalp, and I'd be perfectly fine taking a trade like that versus looking for this whole move. Santi, take it easy, man. Thanks for being here. Up 750 today. There you go. Nah, Dean, we haven't taken one yet. I honestly would have been tempted to pull the trigger on that trade right there, but I think I was a little late little late on the reaction. That's why sometimes it's easier for me to trade when I'm not streaming, is because I am like almost like a savant, just like dialed in, hyper focused on watching the book map, and I would most definitely take a trade like that. But now it's lit up in both directions here, so it definitely could still be going for London low, but I would be a lot less confident in opening a position. Nah, dude, I love doing this. I'm not ragging about streaming. I love it. Oh, itching because you're waiting for entry. Saw the Randall. Were you taking that off of the book map? Is that why you took that? That's what I'm talking about with the book map. Sometimes just being so clear that it's like you have to do it. You know what I mean? You got to do it. And this is lighting up even lower now. It's lit up past the London low. Tapping into this 4 hour. Man, that was a move. Do have orders coming in higher up to 67.35, 67.37. So back up to here. But we're still lit up lower too. I think this is going to go for London low. I think this is making up the gains that we got for that earnings report. It's just rebalancing slightly. I'm not going to do it. I would have made so much money just then. It's all good. It's the book map showing. It's not as clear now. It's still lit up in both directions, but before, man, this short was as clear as day. We're still bearish order flow here, though, so don't get excited about a reversal at this point. Wait for a clear sign of that. Oh, I'm not sweating it, Muzz. I'm not sweating it. You might have to put that on your charts, Chris. You under accounts, you hit the view setting and then hit select column, and you gotta put it on. The book map call outs are OP. Thanks, dude. Yeah, no problem, man. I use a session indicator, Jonathan. It's called ICT Kill Zone and Pivots. I am tempted to get in on this. I'm not FOMOing, but I'm just looking at. Watch the flashes on the book map here. Watch this. I'll show it to you guys. Watch this. You see these large red orders flashing lower on the book map? This is what's drawing price lower. You obviously have some above it as well, but we keep getting these big flashes down here on the book map. Keep coming in lower, 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 and it's just dragging price down. So if we get a little bit of a pullback here, I might jump in. Just need to pull back to a decent level, so I'm not just getting it in the middle of the range. So we'll see what happens. We did just sweep the London low, but we'll see. Ever since I started watching Christian, I've learned better self-discipline. There you go. Now you see these orders coming in higher here. I'm going to leave this book map on for a minute. Green for the day. See you tomorrow. Take it easy, Matt. Glad you're green, man. We're in this 4 hour too, Brett. Tap just past the center of the 4 hour, the CE of the 4 hour. Negative 1K in Express. Eesh. I hate to hear that, man. Yeah, you definitely keep taking creatine. Always take creatine. Bro, what exactly are you marking? The session highs and lows. So Asia, London, New York AM, New York PM. Those are what I mark out. If something's been swept already, you obviously don't mark it. Yeah, we did sweep London. Damn it. No, I'm not in long. Boom. Got that. Flatten all, cancel all orders. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Sorry, I was dialed in there. Make sure I'm closed out of all these orders. Just took 490 times 25. That's what I'm talking about. It never gets old. Never gets old. Most drawdown I think I went into there was $200. When I missed the entry slightly because I was looking for this pullback and I missed it slightly. I think I got in. Let's see where I got in. Put the execution marks on. I got in right there and got out right there. That's what I'm talking about, only needing a couple of points. Obviously, I would have liked to have gotten in at a different point and not be sitting there taking a trade off of that. But the book map was still lit up in that down direction. It's pretty much cleaned up to the downside now. I think that we look for, if you're looking for another trade, eyeball a reversal here. Because that sweep right there that I just closed that trade on, basically was the last bit of liquidity that was lower unless more orders come in. So yeah, orders are coming into the upside now. That 67.10 level was where I think I had my order at 67.09 or something like that. I had it at 67.08. So that was the last. I mean, I literally look at that. That's pretty much a bottom tick of where I sold. So can't be mad about that. I need to. A part of my checklist is always making sure that all of my orders are off the chart here. So when you have this many accounts, you got to really make sure of that. I think everything's closed. What was the thought process there? Jack, it wasn't the best thought process, and if I'm being completely honest, it would have been a better at some other point. But that level that I was seeing, that I was waiting, I wanted to see a little bit of a pullback, which we got here. You can see we got that pullback right there, and that's where I entered. We did go a little bit higher than that, and then we dumped. We went with this candle, we went a little bit higher and then dumped. We're dumping again here. Pulled right back into that 5 minute, and we're dumping again. But it was clear. I mean, the book map, you were looking at what I was looking at. That book map to the downside was really lit up at the level where I took profit. So, I mean, yeah, it would have been more advantageous, but look at this. I mean, you just down here. Get in on that momentum. Get in on that. I'm not saying right now. I'm saying that's what my thinking was. Yeah, now we have downside lit up to 6,700. So I'm probably done for the day off of that trade. I'll take that as a win for the day and be happy with it. So no reason to be greedy. And the P&L, you'll see me post the TradeZilla P&L. You'll post, obviously I just made 490 times 25, but of those, only 15 of those are funded. So the P&L will reflect only the fundeds. I don't post P&Ls for evals. I feel like that's kind of cringe. Major loss unfunded. Did you try to time that reversal? You got to wait for clear bullish order flow, like what you would want to see, that 5 minute or something get inverted. You had nothing inverted. Nothing. You're basically just going off of feeling if you're taking this long here. If I was taking a long, if I was looking for a reversal, I want to see a clear indication of bullish order flow. I would have wanted this 5 minute to invert at the very least. I still wouldn't have been convinced at that point because you have so many other gaps above it. Yeah, I mean, orders are lit up. No, nothing below 6,700 that's super aggressive. But as we've been seeing here, boom, holy cow, man. This is just going. Is something happening right now? Am I missing some news? Like, are we just open a short and hold? Like, what is going on right now? $5K on the day, Nick. There you go. Yeah, orders are coming in now below 6,700, but that's a pretty key level to keep an eye on. Just short and pray. Bitcoin's at 88. Wow. Good time to buy. Orders are lit up hard to 6,700 right now to the downside here. Turn these execution marks off. Yeah, this is pretty interesting why this is doing this. Hard to 6,700. It's 11:30 though. It's my time to hop off. Got class in an hour, so I got to get ready for that. But if you guys are green, I hope you stay green. Don't give any of it back. If you're red, don't make it worse. So appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate all the follows. Appreciate the gifts. Appreciate all the engagement. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate it. You guys have a great day. We'll be back here tomorrow morning, same time. We'll do it all over again. Appreciate you guys. God bless you.